Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode where we start to take down and look at all the things that are wrong with our Seat Ibiza. But before we get into that project, I just want to have a quick chat about to you one of our sponsors, the plug-in Honey, and how it can benefit you. Now I'm going to demonstrate just how easy it is to use the Honey plugin. Once you've got it installed, you then leave it to do its thing. So here I am at Eurocar Parts, and these are the parts generally that I purchase for my Renault Traffic van. So once you go to the checkout, what would happen is a Honey plugin will then come into place. So we'll go to the checkout here now, and as you can see, the Honey plugin comes in. Now the total amount comes to £451.97. Once I apply the discount, Honey will then go and do its thing. It will find the best code that you need, and then once it finds that code, it will then come up and show you what your savings are. So remember, £451 is what we had, and now Honey is showing us that we have saved £159.35, which is fantastic. So if I was to purchase those again, that will be my final costs. So we've saved up to 45% off the price of those goods. To install Honey, it couldn't be easier. In your browser, type out joinhoney.com/cars for Paul. It will take you then to the Honey page. Click on add it to your browser, whether it be Edge or Chrome. It will then take you to the install page. Click on get, add to the extensions, and then Honey will then go about installing. Simply as that. So not only could you be saving yourself money, but you'll also be supporting this channel by installing the browser. So if you want to install it, simply go to joinhoney.com/cars for Paul. Well, as you saw last week, we had the car arrive and it was placed in the middle of my drive. So now I need to move the car round the corner so we can start working on it and getting it apart and getting those broken components that we estimated were damaged off and seeing what needs to be done in the car. So let's not waste any further time. Let's get the car moved, and believe me, that's not going to be easy. So let's crack on and get that done. Okay, so now we've got the car on axle stands, and there's a right palaver to move, as you probably saw in the video. Let's assess the damage on the vehicle. So first of all, the damage from the body perspective is this wing. So we need to replace this wing, and then the undershield as well. The front bumper has got some deep scratches on there, but that's about it. Just some deep scratches. So it's got some scratches on the front here, and it also has some scratches down here. All of these are deep, but they can be repaired with a smart repair. So that's what we're going to do on that one. Don't forget, this is a 9-year-old car. If you look at the MOT history on this car, it's really good. That's the only body work that's really wrong with this car. It's got this bit here bent here, but we'll deal with that later. Most of the damage on this vehicle is undercarriage. So if we look on this side here, we've got the steering arm here. That's broken, so we're going to replace the arm, not the whole steering rack, just the arm, so we can replace that. That's clearly broken. We need to replace the ball joint as well, so we'll do that. This whole arm, lower swing arm, that's definitely damaged, so that needs to be replaced. We probably need to replace this toe as well, because that looks like it's been damaged as well. And of course we've got the end of the bar here that will need to be replaced as well, the steering bar, and the drive shaft. If you see the drive shaft underneath there, that's broken, so we need to replace that. All of these components are bolt-off components, so they're very easy. The shock will need to be replaced as well, because If you look up here, you will see clearly that this is bent. Yeah, so that needs to be replaced. So that's this side. Let's take a look on the other side now. Now I've taken the wheel off. Now the wheel was compressed against the back here, so that means that the lower swing arm here also needs to be replaced. This tow bar here though seems to be fine. That doesn't seem to be damaged, and I need to take a look at the suspension. The suspension arm on this side, that hasn't been touched, but due to the nature of this accident, which I think the car has had a side impact, that obviously needs to be assessed as well. There's nothing leaking on this side. Underneath the car is absolutely fine. The engine is in place, and nothing seems to be missing untoward under the vehicle. So I think this side is relatively simple to get right. I may replace the discs because they are rusted, but that's because the car's been stationary for a while. They may clean up, but we'll see once we do that. Got a good set of pads on there though, nice and thick, which is good. Right, so that's the outside. On the inside, clearly the airbag needs to be replaced on the driver and the passenger side. So both have been deployed, and once they have been deployed, that means one thing: you got to replace the dashboard. Although I just saw this piece here, this looks like it could be a separate piece. I'm not sure. If it is, that might just save me some time. Anyway, we'll assess that. That's because I have ordered a complete airbag kit, so that's on its way here. That's about it though from the dashboard point of view. Obviously the airbag from the steering wheel and this bit here just needs to be replaced, so we'll replace the dashboard. And on here, I don't know what's gone on here, but either there was a box of eggs that was sitting on this, and when they had the impact they all got destroyed, but it's just left an what a mess. So that needs to be thoroughly clean. I'm going to probably take the seat out for that and see if I can actually take the cover off. If I can take the cover off, that'd be great, but don't hold your breath. But weirdly enough, even though you've got eggs here that have dried, there is no smell. It doesn't smell rotten. Yeah, there's no smell in the car that's been affected by that. So that's it. That's what needs to be done on this vehicle. So let's get some parts ordered and then we can start the process. Now underneath the bonnet, it is in really good condition. I was really surprised how well this car has been looked after. Even here, it's absolutely spotless. Really, I've never seen a car that's under the bonnet is absolutely spotless. You can see the reflection of the engine on there just to show you how good it is. So this car has really been kept well. So nothing really needs doing in here other than just a bit of a clean up, because you know I like my engines to look good. And for once, the front of the vehicle is absolutely fine. Nothing needs to be done here except for those smart repairs that we spoke about early. So a relatively easy repair, he says, just those mechanicals. So we're going to get those bits ordered up, and then we'll start by dismantling the swing arms, and I'll show you just how bad they are. And then once we get the swing arms off, we can then start dismantling the steering. And I'm going to have to do both sides, I think, because I did look at the steering on this side as well, and as you can see, this side is also bent as well, so we need to do the steering arm on there as well, which is a shame, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll take both of those off and then we'll get them repaired and replaced. So there's a couple of other things that I wanted to highlight, nothing real issue. When I took the wheel out to get the car off the jack or off the van, there was what I thought was actually water in the car, stagnant water. Is actually oil. So it got me a little bit concerned. I thought, how do you get oil in the back? And I think what's happened is that someone's had oil in the canister and it's dropped in here. No one's actually cleaned it up, because the oil looks clean. It can come from nowhere else. There's nothing oil related in the back here. Not even a fuel tank is near here. So that's all that it is. So that just needs to be cleaned up. But strange one. It's clean oil as well. You can see it's you know, couldn't tell you what grade it is, but it's definitely clean. And the last thing is the wheels. Last but not least are the two front wheels. They could both do with a bit of a refurb. This one is quite chipped, and this one here is just scraped on the outside, so they need a clean up and a bit of a painting really. So I'm going to find a local company who can take care of that on as cheap as possible, because although these wheels are you know, they are original wheels, wheels always make a car and they need to look good, so we need to get those sorted. And that's it really on the vehicle. So that's it on the car. The car looks pretty good actually. So in comparison to my assessment looking at the car online to actually seeing it in reality, I think we made a good call on buying the car. Also, I think we made a good judgment call, because everything that we've seen, I think the only thing that is in addition is the drive shaft. But I did suspect that the drive shaft may be damaged, so that's not been too bad. So we've made quite a good call on that. So now all we have to do is order all the bits that we need to get the car back and repaired, and in the next episode we'll be tearing down all those damaged bits and ordering the bits that we need to get the car back up on the road. So in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We look to turn this one around quickly like we did with the van, so things will be happening very quick pace in terms of the videos. But don't forget to subscribe down here if you like what you see, and also click on that notification bell so that you get notified whenever we release our latest on our new and upcoming videos. So we'll see you on our next episode. Have a good rest of the week.